Alright, Shalom Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, wherever it may be. Just a quick in transit, man. Wanted to speak on a few things. Kind of been ripping and running. So, already had time to put out the third sit down. But basically, man, just speaking on, just the times as usual, current events, how the MOTB is right before us, man, and just a lot of things, man, as far as prophecy is happening. A lot of us, man, we don't even realize how close we are, okay? Because I guess we've been taken for granted for so long that the prophecies has been tarrying, but the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait on it, because it should not tarry. We've been kind of spoiled here in Babylon, man, because for the simple fact, man, shit ain't been happening up until the last few years. So now we got to, gear our mindset around what's really going on here, man, because I always like to say, if you blink, you're going to miss something, If you blink, you're definitely going to miss something. So with that being said, brothers, man, keep your eyes on the prize, because this whole thing with Trump, this whole FBI allegedly raiding his house based on some documents that he allegedly took from the White House that he wasn't supposed to take. I don't know, so many different narratives about that, but it's just wise for us to keep our head on a spiritual swivel, man, because we know that Esau Edom is going to use anything he can to demonize the Israelites, because you got these goof troops by the name, I believe it was the HOI, that was down there on the January 6th event, so-called insurrection, which that shit was staged. I don't believe that for 1 second, man. And I know that Esau was behind it, etc. But you had a group of Israelites that went down there bragging about it, and allegedly, I believe in one of the papers or one of the independent papers, a guy came out and stated that the Hebrew Israelites were down there. All right, so, just stupid shit like that. Jake want to get involved in things that concern him not. Like the scriptures say, hey, straddle not in matters which concern thee not. That insurrection had nothing to do with us, man. Or whatever happened at the White House January 6th had nothing to do with us, Jake. So you had no business being down there, man. Okay, especially trying to teach the word, okay? Because them people ain't listening to you, man. Now, if you wanted to post up around the corner, down the block, or somewhere outside of that, or if you came back downtown or whatever and prophesied the next day and went into the events to recap the people and what happened, so be it, but you don't go down there right when they're in the middle of a fucking psyop, But like I said, a lot of these men, we've all said it, a lot of these men set up to basically be agent provocateurs or paid agitators, man. Okay, a lot of them are set up to do damage, because, a lot of them are paid off by the government, man. It's no coincidence that a lot of these Israelites have monetized videos, and then you got groups like the Sakari that's basically gearing arms. And we clearly know what Esau said about so-called radical black identity extremists, and it's not a wise thing to call yourself that, all right, because we are the children of Israel. We ain't no damn black people, all right? If you look at my face or my skin tone, I'm nowhere near the color of my somewhat beard I got, all right? I'm not that color. I'm actually a lighter shade of brown, okay, because the Israelites was known to be as the sands of the sea, man, and the different shades of the earth, whether it's dark brown, completely dark brown, red hue, or light brown like sandy brown, okay? We're all colors, so that don't get caught up in that black identity extremism, because it doesn't profit anything, okay? It just brings more confusion and more injustice to our people, because when you play on the byword or the social construct of black and white, Esau got you, man, because that's what he plays on. Like when you go on the Project Megiddo website, it says black Hebrew Israelites, okay? But yet you clearly got Latino and Native American brothers in the camps, man, okay? Lighter than myself, darker than myself. You got so-called white people in our camps, man, okay? Because they're not really white. They're not Esau Edom. Their line goes back into Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They just took on the molecular structure of the other nations, because that's just how genetics work sometimes, all right? So keep that in mind, and not to be caught up in the madness out here, man, because a lot of them other camps that got followers, man, a lot of them dudes, they're not doing the work, okay? They're not engaged in the work of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. But the men of the great millstone and that follow the great millstone, you're going to see that the fruit that come into our ranks, you're going to see that they're doing shows, man. You know, they're prophesying. They're going into the prophecies. They're going into the MOTB. You know, they're breaking down these scriptures, these precepts, line upon line, precept upon precept. They're not out there on their own will, you know, because the torch and that the apostles put out there, like it tells you in John, I believe the 5th chapter or the 4th chapter, they tell you that men that enter into other men's rest or other men's labors. So we called the Great Awakening back in 2007 era, okay, when most brothers came in. I myself came in 2011, you know, which is not a very long time ago, but nonetheless, you know, a lot of brothers woke up around that 2007, 2008 mark, because that's when this word went viral on YouTube. You know, it went viral, okay, like it tells you in Psalms 19:1. It says there, basically the line went out the firmament, declared a handiwork, which is going into this internet, man. Even though that's a manifold scripture, but you know, through the spirit, we broke it down as far as being the internet, because it tells you, it says there's no place where that voice or language is even heard. But brother can pull that precept. I don't really want to butcher it, but yeah, brothers, you know, so just being circumspect, stand in the spirit, you know, doing what you have to do to make your calling and election sure, because like we're literally this close from all hell breaking loose, man. All right, so don't get lackadaisical, you know, keep your eyes on the prize. You know, things can be very, very tempting at times, man, because hey, you still got to live your life, you still got to work. You know, the price of living is going up dramatically. 1-bedroom apartments out here damn near $900 to $1,000, man. Some shit that was what, $500-600 maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Now they're going up, man. Okay, everywhere, and your job wages remain stagnant. And even if you do get a raise, it just sometimes you still robbing Peter to pay Paul, man. And on top of that, the shortage of the job sectors is still not enough, man. Okay, because now you got to take on extra work for that money you're getting. And believe me, when Esau's offering you all this extra money, these incentive-based programs, whatever you want to call them, you better believe he's gonna make you work for that shit. You know, because he felt like he's doing you a favor. When technically, if inflation is at a 9-10% hike, your employer should match at least 15% of that, so you can have another 5-6% to kind of slide in there. But this motherfucker go up 4% when inflation is at 9%, 9.5%, and probably higher than that. And they're talking about going up, okay? Because I was talking to this dickhead real estate agent earlier today. I guess he owns some lofts, kind of like downtown KC. And this dude was proud as hell, man. And I was telling him, you know, I said, dude, I'm like, you are slapping yourself in the face because you're getting ready to take a hit because you're raising rents and people ain't gonna be able to afford that. He said, you might be right, but you know, this isn't market rate, this is above market rate, okay? Because you dictate your pace based on the fluctuation of the economy and people's work numbers, man, okay? Because the thing of it is, you may say people are paying market rate, but yeah, you may, let's just say, if you have a property, right? And let's just say you put $3 million into cheap renovations in it. Now, that shit gonna pay itself back because of the funding you got, okay? And on top of that, the loan, you gotta pay that back. And you gotta raise rents. But overall, you're still gonna quadruple that profit because the money you put in the profit into the property is way less worth than what people are actually paying for it, man. It ain't shit to buy put some cheap ass hardwood floors down, okay? Get up the carpet, hardwood floors, some cheap paint, you know, some so-called stainless steel appliances. That shit is dirt cheap, man. So it's really a money. That's why they call it a buyer's market, man, and a seller's market. Because even though things are going up, you can still sell and make a profit off of it because they're playing on the people's desperate attempts to live. Because now people are really desperate right now, man. So they're working all these hours to make ends meet. You know, they're forced to move from their places. And then I was reading too briefly that because of certain funding programs from the states, people are getting evicted because the state is running out of money, you know? So with that being said, a lot of people, they can't even pay their bills because they was depending on these state grants, you know, like Safer program, particularly utility companies, to get them out of a hard place. But now that ain't even the case, man. A lot of people are getting evicted and they're on the streets. Like about 2-3 weeks ago, I was driving down the main drag and it was this house on the corner, and one day all they shit was just outside. So I imagine they must have been out of town for a few days because the spirit had me to catch them when they came back. And they was looking like, what the fuck happened? I mean, all that shit was on the side of the road, man. You know? It's a lot of something on my tooth. But yeah, brother, so yeah, man, this is it, man. Yahweh Shimi Hawashi is getting ready to make moves. Like the elder Yahshua always say. He say, look, man, you know, we all are gonna pretty much have to go on faith in that day. Because sooner or later, these jobs ain't gonna sustain us. You're gonna have the MOTB in order to work, okay? And another job, you got the monkey business, okay? You got new lockdowns from new variants, and the shit goes on. So it's just like, at the end of the day, man, it's really time to get your mind set upon what's getting ready to happen, because we ain't got too much longer left, you know? Nobody texts that scripture in Psalms, the 19th chapter. It's all good, though. We quoted it. But overall, brothers, man, like, you know, just something quick, man. Just keeping our minds in the right spot, you know, focusing on Yahweh Shimi Hawashi, asking him to, you know, deliver us, man, because, hey, we gonna need him. It tells you in Daniel, the 12th chapter, it says, in that day, Michael should stand up, the prince of thy people, right? Because it's gonna get that graphic out here, because eventually they're gonna go door to door looking for Israelites, man, and, hey, they're gonna be going door to door putting people to death. They showed you that in the first Purge movie that came out back in 2018, 4th of July weekend. You know, one of my favorite Purge movies, because they showed you, the last two Purge movies that came out showed you the concept of what they're going to do to blacks and Hispanics and natives, Haitians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, you know, Mexicans, etc. You know, and anybody got a problem with the 12 tribes being black, Hispanic, and Native American, may the Most High destroy you, man, okay? Because you don't have the right to shut up the kingdom of heaven and no man that's an Israelite. Because what if your black ass ain't an Israelite? You know? But anyway, brothers, man, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashimi Hawashi, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, a great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, Shalom and a Baba Shalom.